The beast that devoured armies now follows a human like a loyal dog. The Galactic Council's emergency session had been called to order 3 times before anyone dared speak. Admiral Zenthkar's 4 eyes blinked in rapid succession, a sign of extreme distress among his species, as he stared at the holographic footage playing on repeat above the central dais. "Explain this," he finally managed, his voice barely above a whisper. The footage showed the devourer of Kepler 442, the nightmare that had single-handedly consumed 17 entire armies across 3 star systems, sitting placidly beside a human, female. The creature's obsidian scales, each the size of a dinner plate, gleamed in the alien sunlight as it nuzzled against her shoulder like some oversized pet. Ambassador Veltar, representing the Andromedan Collective, cleared her throat with a sound like grinding metal. The human calls herself Dr. Sarah Chen. She's a xenobiologist from Earth, specializing in what they call animal behavior. Animal behavior? General Krixoth slammed his cybernetic fist against the table, causing several delegates to flinch. That thing obliterated the entire 7th Fleet. It turned Admiral Gorthan into soup. On the hologram, Dr. Chen scratched behind what might have been the Devourer's ear. The beast, a creature standing 12 feet tall with claws capable of shearing through battlecruiser hulls, closed its 6 eyes and made a sound disturbingly similar to a purr. "How?" Admiral Zenthkar asked. "How did she do it?" Ambassador Veltar activated another hologram. This one showed Dr. Chen's initial encounter with the Devourer 3 weeks prior. The human had descended from her research vessel alone, carrying nothing but a medical bag and what appeared to be a container of food. She approached it without weapons, Veltar explained. "Our analysts initially assumed this was some form of ritual suicide, given that the creature had just finished consuming the Rigelian 4th Battalion." The council watched in stunned silence as the tiny human walked directly toward the massive predator. The devourer rose to its full height, mandibles spreading wide enough to swallow a small shuttle whole. Its roar had been known to cause structural damage to nearby starships. But Dr. Chen didn't run. She didn't even flinch. Instead, she sat down cross-legged in the alien grass, opened her container, and began eating what appeared to be a sandwich. She ignored it, General Krixoth muttered. The human ignored the most dangerous predator in known space. Not ignored, Veltar corrected. She studied it. Watch her eyes. She's analyzing its posture, its vocalizations, its aggressive displays. According to her subsequent reports, she identified the creature's behavior as territorial, dominance assertion with underlying stress indicators. The hologram continued. After several minutes of displaying its most fearsome aspects to no effect, the devourer seemed confused. It approached the human cautiously, sniffing at her with nostrils the size of dinner plates. Dr. Chen continued eating, occasionally, glancing at the creature with what she later described as polite acknowledgement. Then she offered it food, Ambassador Veltar continued. The council watched as Dr. Chen pulled something from her bag, a chunk of what looked like processed meat. She tossed it casually toward the devourer, not as a fearful offering, but as one might share a snack with a friend. The beast caught the morsel and swallowed it. Then, in a moment that had already become legendary across 17 star systems, it sat down. Preliminary behavioral assessment suggested the creature was suffering from extreme stress-induced aggression. Veltar read from her datapad. Dr. Chen hypothesized that the devourer was displaced from its native environment and reacting to perceived threats with excessive defensive behavior. Defensive? General Krixoth's voice cracked. It destroyed the Titan-class battleship Imperius. After being shot at first, Veltar noted. Dr. Chen's analysis indicates that every attack the creature made was in response to being attacked first. It was acting like a scared, aggressive animal defending itself. The next series of holograms showed Dr. Chen's daily visits to the creature. On day 2, she brought a larger container of food. On day 3, she began taking biological samples, with the devourer's apparent consent. By day 7, the massive predator was following her around like an oversized shadow. She calls it Buddy, Veltar added with what might have been amusement. Admiral Zenthkar rubbed his temples with all four hands. A creature that consumed armies, and she named it Buddy. The most remarkable aspect, Veltar continued, is her training regimen. Dr. Chen has successfully taught the Devourer basic commands. It now sits, stays, and comes when called. She's even taught it to fetch. The hologram shifted to show the previous day's footage. Dr. Chen throwing a metal sphere across a clearing, while the Devourer bounded after it with enthusiasm that would have been endearing if not for the fact that the creature's playful gallop left craters in the ground. Fetch, General Krixoth repeated in a hollow voice. She's also begun socialization training, Veltar added. The creature now allows other humans to approach, though it remains protective of Dr. Chen. Yesterday, it allowed a team of researchers to take measurements and samples without incident. And if someone threatens her? Admiral Zenthkar asked, though he already suspected the answer. Veltar's expression grew serious. 3 days ago, a group of Valkorian raiders attempted to capture Dr. Chen for ransom. The Devourer discouraged them. Discouraged? There were no survivors to question, but the blast pattern suggests the creature neutralized 7 armed combatants in approximately 3.2 seconds. The council fell silent again, processing the implications. The most feared predator in known space had been transformed from an unstoppable force of destruction into a protective companion through nothing more than patience, understanding, and what Dr. Chen called basic interspecies empathy. She's requested permission to relocate the creature to a wildlife preserve on Earth, Veltar continued. Apparently, she believes it would benefit from a more suitable environment with proper enrichment activities. Admiral Zenthkar looked around the chamber at his fellow council members. 3 weeks ago, they had been prepared to authorize the use of planet-killer weapons to stop the Devourer. Now a single human had solved their crisis with sandwiches and scratches behind the ears. Motion to approve Dr. Chen's request, he said, finally. Seconded, came a chorus of voices from around the chamber. As the session adjourned, Ambassador Veltar remained behind, reviewing her notes. According to Dr. Chen's reports, humans had domesticated hundreds of species on their homeworld. Using similar techniques, they had taken wolves and turned them into pets, transformed wild cats into companions, and somehow convinced creatures as diverse as horses and dolphins to work alongside them. Perhaps, Veltar thought, the council had been asking the wrong question all along. It wasn't how Dr. Chen had tamed the Devourer. It was why it had never occurred to anyone else to try. The humans, it seemed, had a remarkable talent for seeing potential friends where others saw only monsters.